Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. In this video we're going to show our new jigs for measuring suspension components on the NA and NB Miatas. We've made these up, they're CNC machined, all in-house. These are actually, I don't even want to call them pre-production units. They're early production units because they're all done, they're all made, but they have to go be powder coated yet. So we're filming this the middle of November. Probably the first week in December we'll be able to start shipping. We are going to offer on our website a discount for pre-orders before they get powder coated. Anyways, we're going to start with the front spindles. Against popular knowledge, we have found that the geometry on all year front spindles is the same. Everything from 1990 through 05, with and without ABS, the geometry is all the same. So we're going to take this red one here, and we're just going to drop it in the hole. We got a big hole in the middle, and everything drops in. Just sits in the hole. You can see that all three holes line up. Ball joint hole, lower ball joint hole, tie rod end hole. That tells me that all 4 points, your spindle and your 4 joints are all lined up. This spindle is good. This one here, which is dirty, has the bent upper mount. So we'll try to put that in, and you can see that it won't even try to go in. So you know for sure right away that this has been taken and bent to give it more camber. These are now known about and illegal. The way this jig is made up, it will fit both this would be a right side, the left side would go in and use the other set of holes. And again, this works. We've tested them on NA, NB, NB2, with ABS, without ABS. They're all the same geometry. So that's the front spindles. Rear spindles, I have set up here, uses factory long bolt and the factory upper mounting bolt. One of the things we've done is we've engraved in all of these with the CNC what they fit. So here's our rear upright, works both sides. You drop the lower mount in, and get everything unstuck because these are a fairly tight fit. Lower bolt goes through, upper bolt goes through. This upright is straight. You can also do it, this would be one side. If we put it in use the other side upright, we'll use this gap over here to align it. Where they usually bend is here. They'll bend like this, or they'll twist sideways and they won't drop in. Here's our front upper control arm. This one's a little more complicated. Because some of you are using the offset upper control arm bushings that are allowed by SCCA, we actually have 2 sets of holes. So you just tighten them down into whichever set of holes you want, and it moves this distance here farther away or closer together, depending upon which type of bushing you're using. Again, we just drop it in. And again, this works for all your bushing, all your control arms, NA and NB. Put the bolt through, and the ball joint drops right down in on it. We're not looking for minute 1/8 of an inch differences. What you'll find usually on an upper control arm is that one of these bolts mounts back here is twisted. It twists over this way, you won't even be able to get the long bolt in. This one here I've actually got set wrong. You can see how it's offset. The jig is set up for a offset bushing, and this is a non-offset bushing control arm. But it'll work both ways simply by removing these 2 bolts. I do have here, so that you can see it. Tighten these back down. They only need to be hand tight. Here is a bent one. We can't get it, doesn't go in very easy, but I did get this in earlier. But you can see that it won't even go in. This has got a little bend right here in this ear. If you look closely, you can see where the rust is all flaking off. But you can also take real obvious test, the bolt doesn't go through. And if you take and go this way, you can see how far off this ear is based on where this goes. Now we also have ones for, this is our biggest one, for the rear or the front lower control arm. Again, it works both sides. Ball joint goes in here. This would be a right front. You'd use this side for a left front. Using just a stock bolt back here, you can see how this one is off. Your bend is here. Right away it tells you that something's wrong. And then this one here, I didn't bring out a control arm for it, but this is your rear lower control arm. Your outer end sits here, your inner end sits in here, and you can see if all the holes line up. So you can measure front uprights, front uppers, front lower is the big one, your rear uprights, your rear lower, and over here is for the rear upper control arm. And you can tell within a few minutes on every one of your control arms if they're right. We also have, these are our subframe checkers. We're going to do another video that shows how these work. This fixes your fronts. You can measure your lower pickup points on your front subframes. Again, all ears are the same, and tell if the subframe is bent. This is for the rear. Same thing, you can check all 4 pickup points on your rear and tell if your rear subframe is bent. We're going to have a set available where you'll get all 6 of the control arm jigs and the subframe checkers as a package. We will have all the jigs available separately